and believe me, it's really fascinating. Now, the difference, what is the reason, right? The reason is that I'm in something very different, a very different kind of primary activity. We are into modeling. Modeling of a process, which is one of the most complex process known to man, petroleum refining, right? On top of that, we are doing it for Essar Refinery, which ranks among the 5 most complex refineries of the world, right? So how do we do about it? What we have done is we have created 4 models. Models for HSD, high-speed diesel, NS, motor spirit, that is petrol. Then we have an integrated NS HSD model. Then we have a tank correction model, right? And 15 minutes, it's absolutely impossible to go through all these models. So what we have is, my agenda for the day is just build the basics. We go through this model, and then you'll understand what these models, implications of this model, but the importance of this model to the manager EPS. So the question was first was, what is EPS, right? You might have read that in my first slide. Sorry to not mention that. EPS is Economic Planning and Scheduling. The department at Essar Oil Refinery, which actually handles or instructs the operations department. What we are going to do, how we are going to produce, and how much we are going to produce. Now, the last time, one honorable member of the audience asked me, okay, the entire Ramayana is over, but what is refining? How do you refine petrol? So I was putting this diagram. In 7th standard, all of us must have drawn this diagram. Fractional distillation tower, crude oil enters, high temperature, high pressure, it goes upwards, and we get products. Right? So the question is it? Is that what you want to tell us? No. The second question is it still used in refineries? It is the building and backbone of current refinery. What is in background here is this fellow. This fellow is a CDU, crude distillation unit at Essar. And this uncle has the distinguished honor of being the single largest refining equipment ever designed and ever under operation. So now back to the story. What happened? What has Essar done? It went ahead and invested 11,000 crores and set up support utilities. What we call support utilities over 699 acres. And what we get is that a grassroots refinery of 14.8 million tons per annum with a Nelson complexity factor of 0.8. Now, what does all this mean? In layman language, what have we added? We added some processing units. What they do? Process crude. What we are doing we are earlier also processing crude. So what are these fellows doing? Processing some different type of crude. What are the type of crude? Sweet to sour crude, light to heavy crude, hard crude. So the question is, right, when we have sweet crude, light crude, why the foods are we processing hard crude? The next slide. Now, Asia Pacific has only 4% of crude reserves. So we have to buy some other countries. Now the question is, are all these crudes similar in nature, characteristics? No. But now that is a concern with every manufacturing industry, right? The input from the raw materials from different places are different. So what's the big deal here? The problem is that we cannot process hard goods. 70% of refineries in the world cannot process hard goods. That is why we're building these extra processing units. That is why there is a grassroots refinery, right? So what is again the point? Why process hard goods? We have a sweet crude, right? The picture is very good. Now, what happens next is when we go for availability, the picture becomes sweet crude that the availability of sweet crude is less. So their cost is time. Now you have to control cost. So what we do? We build the processing plant and we process hard goods. Right? Fine. Just go ahead with hard goods. What will issue? My refinery life will be reduced. So what we do? We form a combination. Mix light crude and hard crude. Right? So what happens is EPS Mumbai, EPS department in Mumbai has a model of 1,20,000 variables. Very detailed, very comprehensive decision making to find out from where and what kinds of fruits will buy. Now, what does all this explain down here? What is the implication for my project here? We have possibility, and it happens that every time the shipment arrives at Essar Refinery, the input is different. The crude oil is different. So the question is, does my product change? No. So does the intermediate change? No. But what is the change then? The quantum of intermediates. For each different mixture of grade, mixture of crude, the crude basket we call, we get different quantum of different intermediates. So what? So we step in here. Now we have possibility of optimizing the product. How to make the products from those intermediates. That is what we do. And that is what we have done in this project. That is modeling of the product blending. Right? So one interesting question was asked was that why is the title revenue optimization? Cost I'm interested in profit, right? Revenue. Now we cannot understand refinery economics in 15 minutes, but very basic, right? What are profits? Revenue minus cost. Now in finance will tell us that cost include everything. Now what is the beauty of refinery economics is that the quantum involved is too huge, right? We're talking about billions and billions of dollars. Just give a perspective. The annual raw material cost, the input cost, that is crude oil cost, is 1200 to 1400 crores. Now, what do you think if you have a world-class refinery, right, second largest refinery of the world, what will it cost you to operate it? The annual operating cost of extra refinery is something under 250 crores. Put it in perspective, it is less than 2% of your input cost. So you can forget about everything. We just have to optimize the cost. Now, this function is done by EPS Mumbai. We don't have to worry. Now, cost are taken care of. So what we have left? Revenue. Just assume that profit will be automatically taken care of, right? That's what we do. Now we understand what is modeling, right? We know it's very complex process, right? So we just develop models. Now, as we know, the models help us to take decisions, help us simulate several locations, right? That is basic function of this model also. Now, as we said, we have 4 models, but we cannot in no way explain those models in 15 or 20 minutes. What we will do is focus on one single model. That is high-speed diesel revenue optimization model. Now, how we do about that, right? I'll take you to what we achieved, right? What finally the project achieved. What is now available to the management SR, the model, the end result. Then we try to understand why we did it. What are the detailed problem statements? Finally, we look into it, the most important part, like how we did it. And actually, we will not be sleeping at that part of time. Like this. Now, what happens is, what is the ultimate objective? Revenue optimization. We have to maximize our revenue. What is revenue? Volume into price, or production into price, or sales into price, right? Now, since we are now dealing with liquid items, we have volume. Price, let's not worry about it. Price is determined by several other factors. So let us take it as given or fixed factors. So what we have to focus on? Volume. Right. What is my objective? Objective is to maximize revenue. Now every model, right? Now every model should give some tangible outputs, right, to the manager. What is the first tangible output I need to give? Cost. This is the monthly revenue or the annual revenue, and this is the optimized revenue. This is the maximum revenue you can generate from production, right? Now what is? Now what is revenue? We get it from volume. So second tangible output given to the manager is total HSD production. That is total production, high speed diesel production. Now let's yes. Right. Now how we produce HSD? Right? In that model, right, in the last diagram, we saw that at the end everything is coming to tanks. We are called blending tanks. So we are mixing some components, right? Light kerosene, heavy gasoline, heavy naphtha. Just forget about the terms. They are just consider them as products or intermediates. We mix them all, right, to produce HSD. So the third tangible input or output given to the manager is the production slate. In what quantity, in what proportion should I mix this? I want 100 tons. I want to produce 100 tons of HSD. So I should mix 10 tons of LK, 40 tons of HK, 30 tons of HG, so and so forth. The production slate. Now my dear friends will ask me that, fine, I want to increase or optimize my production. So why not put all the LK I have into HSD? Produce it maximum. What is the limit, right? So what happens is that, we have something called fuel standard or fuel specification. And let's put it very simple way. We have this car that ignition engines, right? Compression engines. So if you put a diesel which has a more than flash temperature of more than 45 degrees, it will not be ignited. Simply just your piston will be compressing it, but it will not get ignition. It will not work. Plus again, if there are people sitting at Europe, they have only one job, defining standards and standards and standards. So I will send my product there. I have to approve it by Euro 4, Euro 5, BS3, BS4. So I need to maintain my product specification. These become my first constraint. Constraint number 1 for the model, the product specification. I have to meet those product specifications. Now we ask, how does this LKHK affect the product specification? Now what we are doing here, we are mixing them, right? Now LKHK have some specific properties, right? So simply by volumetric analysis, we get those properties. Now how do we get into that? How do we get into that is, we know the properties of those LKHK also, right? And we sorry for that. Now we took care of all these things. Now you're asking what the first term, DHD is, right? Now it is diesel hydro desulfurization unit. Forget about the unit. Fine. What is it? It's simply a unit. What does it does? It reduces sulfur. So as that we achieve the 350 target. Now you will say, what? Yeah. Simply while you're doing all this mixing and all, just put entire production into DHS and achieve a sulfur of 320. Now in this unit, we have sulfur fills at 40, right? So we simply do that. Why are you not doing that? But then we have this unit capacity. I cannot run my DSA or any unit beyond my unit capacity. That becomes my constraint number 2. Next. Next. A big slide, right? Just don't be worried about it. What I've done is that I maximize LK, right? Now I have multiple uses for LK, alternative uses for LK. Now only if I do for only for diesel production, but I'm leaving out on the other uses of LK. Right? You can see the alternative uses of LK, right? To TVCS, to blending, to F and all that. What happens that I would take care of all those alternative uses of any LK. Right? What's next? So I need to assign the fourth tangible output to the manager, that is optimum component allocation scenario. Next. Right? Now these are those parameters, target specifications, properties, right? So these are all given. Right? These are all given. The units and all, processing, the characteristics, the availabilities and all that. Right? What happens? There are some more units, right? That enter this process. Now I have to determine what is their throughput. What should be the optimum throughput of those processing units. Fine. Right? Similarly, we have one more unit, like this bigger unit, go ahead. Right? Now I cannot put that time, just this one. Now I cannot use more any component more than its production. I cannot simply put in the model. So we have that fifth constraint, which is component availability. So by doing all this, it becomes that these all products also enter my optimization scope. Now what is this? This is the optimization. The result of this is that my project report, 40-page project report, has been downloaded 500 times from 23 countries. Even today, if you put in Google refinery revenue optimization, the first result shown by Google is my report. And it is same with Google, Yahoo, and Bing. So the theoretical part, the problem statement, what was it doing? We had something given, right? I will not explain what was the given. Now we had to do it, use that to determine something. Okay. We have to determine all these things, right? We did the revenue, amount of final product, production state, optimum component selection, and we did all that in order to maximize the total revenue, right? And we did all that subject to what production station constraints. Right. So what happens? We have a model, we input data, we run the solver. Right? What is needed for solving? Microsoft Solver Foundation. This is the language in which this entire model has been made. But what happens is, this looks like French to the managers. Right? So what we did was, as any organization, Excel runs on, SR runs on Excel. So we had this Microsoft release, Microsoft Office 2010. Right? So we modeled this entire model into Excel Server 2010. Finally, we had something called what's this?
If you want to conclude some.
Okay, fine. Okay, this one. Just to go through the slides.
After read more.
Yeah, fine. Just go through this slide. This is the model, right? How we write those equations. Right? You can understand it's very complex, right? So that's why it looks like pen. Right? Then we go ahead. Just keep on slowly finish up. No, like they just go to brainstorm implications. Right. So what is the end result, right? We have this model is very complex. We have three other different models. What happens? We have product specifications. We saw 38 degree to 45 degree diesel. But they have to hit it. By experience, managers know that let's hit 42 or 45. This next slide. Right? Right? So what happens is that they have to hit it. Right? But this model gives them a revenue point of view description. Okay, fine. Don't go to those extremes. This is the point. 39.81, where you're optimizing your revenue. They do not have any resource right now to calculate it. This is the first time I did it. The other model, which is MS model, had been designed by a IIM Bangalore professor who is currently the GM of the department, and he wanted some new corrections in that. That's why I did that second model. Right? And one just last thing, right? This next slide. What other implication it does have? Right? Component selection. Right? What happens that? Now I have all these components. Now how do I select? Okay, right? This is my demand. This is what I've done. I'm doing this. It's very good. Fine, but I can remove this component and put in another component. But how does I know? I cannot know unless and until we have this model. This model is currently being used at the entire refinery, and we have the third model, which is a dedicated model. Now it is very too complex. That is still in the repository of SR, still not being deployed. And we have the fourth model, the tank correction model. So now what happens in ultimately sometimes product state.
Sorry, you are running out of time.
I have done it. I have both those equations that you saw there, converted it into 3 other solvers, and it's now being implemented and being used by
you.
Yes. Can I show that screen? This just one second. This was this. This is one of the screens, the interface screen which is available to
This is going to enter the
all the beam
all
values.
the features and then they will get the output.
You click on the solver, it will run and everything is
Mr. Pillai,
it's done.
what is the issue you talked about revenue component? Where is the management component in this?
Right. Yeah, that is what we have applications for. The manager needs to decide all this thing, right? We do this planning every day, right? There is 3-month planning, rolling stock we call it. Then daily we have to decide that based on the inputs. So what he does is that he puts in the inputs and after the solver, we get an output. But
You have made more a technical presentation than managerial.
that's where at the end we have those manager implications, like what brainstorming applications this model has.
We don't expect that at the end we should wait and just discuss. You are basically engineer.
Yes, electronic communication.
Your presentation absolutely sir, it's a world class presentation. I summarize that. The thing is,
The last time also I got a suggestion and that's why I put that manager implications.
it's so happened in my life. I went to teach elementary school students. Became a teacher of because I could not manage it. And they found that I am irrelevant. How do you do?
I think it's my negative foresight. Okay, this is something what we're
Absolutely right.
Now, what you were teaching at that point of time is something that would help them in their future, right? Let me listen to it, but I cannot understand that. But let me listen to it someday.
Is your presentation for future evaluation or present evaluation? No, it's fantastic. But what we are actually looking for, just because you have mentioned some revenue, I thought it would be a presentation in the financial management area. Then once you gave the details, then I thought it must be related to production management. Afterwards, I thought it must, because you have given some programming and all, I thought it may be computer application. And finally, I found that there is no management. How do you just?
I will not. The strong disagreeing is that no management in that fund, right? There was, and I was about to come.
No management in the sense that we want the greater component of management in your.
The decision making, yeah.
Absolutely, because this
All about, right.
the scope of this particular evaluation or the entire program is limited to managerial.
Managerial. Exactly, sir. So the thing is that we could at least discuss on the scope and role of it, right? Okay, these are the implications. Now, the manager is dealing with this. He has this tool that he can use his intuition and experience, but along with this tool to justify a decision and to be himself, right? He will be like, satisfied. Okay, fine. This was the best decision I could have taken. I've
Then
learned
you should have talked about a decision-making
process, right? If it hasn't,
model.
unfortunately, ran out of time. At the end, there are agreed with your point. We cannot wait till the end. So,
That could have been as a main.
I think
Any more questions?
Thank you.